In Cheshire, the traffic cops are lying low, waiting to catch criminals in the act. Part of a special squad known as the Crime Car Unit.
This is quite a good car to be in, because I think the last car they're going to expect to be doing this sort of work is a Volvo.
Although they will deal with ordinary traffic incidents in an emergency, the primary mission of the crime car is to target criminals on the move, especially those involved in the drug trade.
You're not being sent from job to job as what the normal officer is on the front line. We've got a bit more scope really to target these people.
The unmarked crime car is ideal for this sort of undercover work, allowing the traffic cops to see without being seen. But not all drug dealers are fooled by such tactics.
The criminal fraternity, they know what cars we've got. You see them all the time, but your average normal punter on the street as such, the way you see them drive or anything really, you know, they could be having a row in the car or anything like that. You're right behind them.
On the outskirts of Chester, the county town of Cheshire, PC Martin Jones has recognised a green Renault pulling up on the road to his left. It's a car the crime team believe is involved in drug dealing. He's ideally placed to let the suspect car continue and follow without being spotted.
Do a quick check on this car now. They know who I am as well.
The suspect car's been pulled over before, but no drugs were found. Jones is hoping they'll have more luck this time. But he needs to be quick. The drugs are often kept in the dealers' mouths, and if they suspect the police are following, they'll dispose of them, with the help of a bottle of pop.
Obviously it's a massive risk to them, because if they've got in their mouth, say, 20 wraps of heroin or of crack cocaine, there's a chance that they could be seriously ill or even die. I could see him taking a swig from the bottle. I thought, well, they've obviously swallowed the drugs now. It's all received. I've just stopped the vehicle now outside the train station with two aboard over. You've got to be very, very quick to try and stop them from necking the drugs. In the past, we've had to grab people around the throat, obviously to stop them from swallowing the items. The reason why I've stopped you, because you weren't wearing your seatbelt for one, and also because this vehicle has been seen what believed to be drug activity in the area, or a vehicle similar to this. When you do stop a car like that with two people on, you know, involved in the dealing of drugs, it is best to call for backup. Actually, just to stand there a minute, or just to search this lad a minute, just to make sure, yeah. No, just wait in the car, fella. Just come stand over here for us, yeah. Okay. So, don't put your hands in your pockets, yeah. In your pockets, you've got a methadone bottle and your keys. Okay, I'll put that there. I'll get them out, okay. Nothing else, okay?
That's it. Got nothing else on me.
Sure.
Yeah.
PC Jones hasn't found any illegal drugs on the driver.
We've then got the passenger out, and then we've searched him. We didn't come up with anything on them. And then, while they were standing on the path, I've then gone to the vehicle to search it. And in the front glove compartments was, I think it was about £280 in notes, some loose change as well. And it's not something that a normal person that you do stop would carry in their glove compartments. There was no handbooks there, nothing else, just cash. What's that from?
Children that just need to be spoken to corroborate the story.
Where's that from?
Another one.
Just asking you a normal question, that's all. I'm not being... Work? Do you work, do you?
Yeah.
Where do you work?
What's the name of it?
Oh, where do you work?
Working all different places, like.
Doing what?
Yeah, go ahead, Tom.
Joinery?
Yeah,
Right, okay. Is that what you normally do, keep your money in your glove compartments? Do you? I knew that he didn't have a job in a million years. There's no way he's got it from that. It was quite obvious that they had been dealing drugs. I did say to him, I said, I know what you've been doing, and you know that I know. And obviously then that's when they've had a bit of a smile on their face, because they know I've been a bit too slow. So, thanks for your time anyway, on your way. Keep your noses clean, lads. It wouldn't surprise me if they're going back out now to maybe get some more drugs of an area where they've stashed them. I'll be keeping a close eye out for that vehicle like everyone else will.
Ellesmere Port, 10 miles north of Chester, is a town where high unemployment has helped fuel high levels of drug use. It lies just across the River Mersey from Liverpool. This is a busy area for the traffic cops, one where they rarely receive a warm welcome. particularly when the crime car's on the prowl. PC Jason Huff has been driving police cars all through his 10 years as a bobby, and he knows exactly who to keep an eye out for.
I spent the first 4.5 years as a Panda driver here. Get to know a lot of the roads and a lot of the faces and what's going on. And with the crime car being a more sort of proactive unit, you do a much better job if you know faces and you know what's going on. It's interesting.
PC Huff has seen a face he thinks he recognises. An old adversary who's been disqualified from driving, sitting in the driver's seat of a car in the middle of the road.
Who's driving that then? Old man Forbes.
Stopping and checking Old Man Forbes is not unusual, but PC Huff knows nothing is ever routine when a Forbes is involved.
How are you? So what's Alan Forbes up to here then? He's not driving that, is he?
What?
Alan Forbes.
It's parked up, isn't it?
How's he got here then?
I don't know.
You haven't seen him drive up here then? Because I'm sure he hasn't got a driving licence, has he? Probably everyone in Cheshire knows the Forbes family. He's very much part of my job, of every police officer's job in Ellesmere Port. Might just have a word with Alan Forbes. I've not actually seen him driving the car, but I know he hasn't got a licence or insurance. I went to his house once and he came out with an oil painting of a pig. And he was just jumping up and down in his garden going, pigs, and swearing and shouting at us.
Hasn't been drove. It's
How long have you had this car?
What's it got to do with you? Don't tell you nothing.
Just asking questions, Mr. Forbes.
Well, why do you want to know?
I'm just curious.
Well, I'm not telling you.
No.
Got nothing to do with me. You just gutted that I'm out on bail and you've got nothing.
Right, I'll just take details of the car, and I presume you'll find somebody else to drive it for you.
Yes.
Good.
Definitely. Off there, you murderer.
Where do you get that from, murderer?
Off Mrs. Powell. That's who had got it off. How's
Right.
about that one? You're being investigated for it, aren't you?
But only think the inquiry has to go ahead first.
Didn't say that in the papers.
PC Huff was involved in a pursuit which ended with the death of Philip Powell. The locals blame PC Huff.
You've just got to be respectful, really, and just mindful of your own safety. If they start hurling abuse at you and throwing stones or things like that, just get out of there.
Enough there. Gutted. Absolutely gutted. And we all know what the judge said for the 23rd, don't we? Enough there.
What's that?
Oh, well, you was in court. You heard what he said. Didn't you? Enough there. Shouldn't have come on the police bus, should you?
Move the car.
Right, thank you, Mr. Forbes. Just make sure you don't drive this car.
Enough.
All right.
Enough there.
Make sure you don't drive the car.
Someone to drive it for me. Murderer. Murderer.
Thank you, Stephen.
What did you say? We've got loads of
You're
evidence.
moving, are you?
That all you said was, all I lost was a boot when I kicked Powell. Is that right?
Yeah.
We've got loads of witnesses that you said that in our back garden and all.
Yeah.
So have a go at that one.
Yeah,
We've all
yeah.
wrote it down.
All right, Mr. Forbes.
Yeah. See you enough there.
Thank you, Mr. Forbes.
See you enough there.
He's a murderer.
Officers,
A
good
murderer.
job.
With
Bye-bye. Yes. See if you can knock a kid over.
See you again, Mr. Forbes. About a year and a half ago now, we were on Rossmore Road at about, 3 o'clock in the morning, early hours. Within seconds, this motorbike emerges out of the estate and the bike started accelerating.
Yes, reverse support available. Vehicle high speed, 80 miles an hour now, Rossmore Road towards Overpool Road.
It was a Hayabusa. It's the fastest production bike in the world. And they were dressed as if they were going out clubbing. Speeds 140 miles an hour. And that's an A road, residential really. It's only 40 restricted.
Still towards the M53, 110 miles still. November Alpha 15, vehicle approaching the roundabout, stand by for direction of travel.
As we came round the corner, we could see that the motorbike had dropped to the floor. We could see the rear light on its side, and it was skidding across the road and went onto the grass roundabout. I ran around the roundabout following the rider. The rider took his helmet off and just threw it at me. I was about 5 metres behind him. He ran up the embankment to the motorway. As I got to the metal barriers, I just heard this almighty bang, and when I looked, he was flying through the air, having collided with a black London-type taxi. He was killed instantly. It was a horrible, horrible accident that happened. It just happened. It was only when I went up to him and he was lying on the road that I realised actually who it was. At the end of the shift, and you go home and you lie in bed, and obviously you're just constantly thinking about it. And at the end of the day, had I not been chasing him, had he not come out as he did, I mean, it's his fault, it's my fault. Yeah, I was chasing him. It was a nice person. You can actually have a conversation with him, as opposed to a lot of people who I deal with in Ellesmere Port. You can't have a conversation with them at all. But that lad was from this estate, you see, so there's obviously a lot of animosity towards me. But until the actual inquest goes ahead and the true story comes out, it's always going to be rumours with that lot, saying that my shoe was recovered from the scene, saying that I'd kicked him onto the road. The actual fact is, he's a lot bigger than me, and if it had come to a tussle on the hard shoulder, it would have been me in front of the taxi, and not him.
The northwest of England has the highest rate of illegal drug use outside of London. In Macclesfield, the local drug squad are trying to do something about it. A drugs bust. The crime car cops are here too, providing frontline muscle. Usually traffic cops carry traffic cones and warning lights in their cars, but the crime car has a boot full of riot gear.
You have to wear this every time you go through a door, basically. And obviously the crime car's now merged with the traffic unit, so we still assist and still take part in these sort of operations.
They'll go through the dome and 4 or 5 of us will back them up as they go in.
Basically looking good in his Ray-Bans.
Tim Humpage, a detective, used to be a crime car man.
I actually worked in the crime car for 6 years, and I moved from the crime car to the CRD. So I've got a very good rapport with the people in the crime car. We're all fighting the same battle against the same people. At the end of the day, if we don't help each other, we're not going to be successful in the fight.
The drug dealer being raided lives on an estate in nearby Knutsford, a leafy suburban town, not the typical drug problem stereotype.
Drugs is everywhere. It doesn't matter where you live or what sort of society you live in. There are drugs, unfortunately, creeping into every single part of the country. Because what you've got to bear in mind is drugs feeds other crimes.
The squad are now on their way to arrest a man who set up his own small business, selling drugs out of his ground floor bedroom window in the middle of a housing estate.
So we're going to have to run back up the street here and come through the alleyway above. Just starting to kick in a bit now.
We'll make sure the van's locked.
With the main assault team attacking the front of the house, more officers have been sent to cover the rear, to make sure nobody gets away. This time, force isn't necessary. The raiders have been spotted from the lounge, and the front door's already open.
What the hell is going on?
The suspected dealer is at home, but so too is his less than pleased mother.
I got the impression straight away they were not expecting us whatsoever. His mum was particularly vocal. It's typical sort of reception, you know. End of the day, you've got quite a large amount of officers coming through your door unexpectedly. They're not going to put the kettle on for us, are they?
Yeah, I'll tell you truthfully, we do have a smoke, but we do it socially in our own house with nobody else here. I have 2 every night. If that's what you want, fine.
The subject is in the premises at this moment in time. He's just been searched, and obviously there's a search of the rooms now taking place. Just calm her down.
Next to his bed on the bedside table was quite a large snap bag, which is basically a sealable bag, clear bag, containing brown vegetable matter. My experience, I knew was cannabis.
The amount of brown vegetable matter found in the man's bedroom is enough for DC Humpage to make an arrest for possession.
I've got you. Come on.
Ellesmere Port is renowned for the production of chemical substances. It also has a reputation for being the toughest town in Cheshire. A place where the traffic cops have a high presence, but keep a low profile. PC Huff's crime car partner is Glenn Sanders, an old hand when it comes to dealing with tough customers.
I used to work in London in the Met, and nobody ever used to give us any grief because they were really firm. Whether you're nicey here or you're quite firm with them, they'll still hate you.
We both have feelings, don't we?
Yeah.
Still get hurt now and again. Yeah, big softy.
We have feelings. There's obviously a whole load of nice people in Ellesmere Port, but there's some who are anti-police and think, well, what are they doing driving around in the big Volvos? Do they ever get out? And they don't realise what's happening on the street corner, some of them.
Like on the street corner ahead, where the traffic cops have spotted a Vauxhall Astra and 3 men near a payphone. The traffic cops are sure they're not trying to phone home.
In this day and age, it's very, very rare that people use telephone boxes.
The unmarked crime car has taken the men by surprise. They've had no time to dispose of anything they might have on them.
You can tell you just get this gut feeling with people that something's quite not right.
I was sure I'd seen one of the other occupants drop something on the pavement and kick it under the car.
Clayton O'Gorman, that rings a bell. I can't think where. Are you local, are you, Clayton?
From Chester.
So what dragged you down this neck of the woods?
Girlfriend.
Mm.
He's getting cold.
You what?
He's getting cold.
We'll just take some details. All right.
He said he needed to go home because his dinner was getting cold or something like that. A very lame excuse.
You seem very, very nervous. When you was walking away, mate, I thought I saw you shove something in your jacket there, so because of that I'm going to search you. All right?
No, I've got nothing in my jacket, mate.
Right, well I'm going to search because I think you have, all right?
The way he was looking around, his eye movements, his body stance, something was up.
I'm going to search and then I'm going to give you a copy of the search record, do you understand?
No.
Right, have you got anything on you shouldn't have before search you?
Neil, help me! Neil, help me, Neil! Neil, just 2 minutes, man! 2 minutes, Neil, help me! Neil, help me! Help me, Neil! Please! Stay back! Neil! Please, Neil! Neil! Please, Neil! Stay where you are! Neil!
Give us your hand.
Neil, please! Neil, help me! Neil, help me! Neil, help me! Neil, help me now!
X-ray Alpha assistance. Milltown Road. X-ray Alpha assistance, Milltown Road.
Please! Gas! The back!
Nice one, Jason. No. Oh. X-ray Alpha, can we have assistance? Pooltown Road.
Assistance to X-ray Alpha, Pooltown Road, North Knowledge.
Give me your hand.
No.
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 Just get a cuff on it. He's not going anywhere.
Whatever we did, it just wasn't working. Put him on the floor, tried to restrain him, got up. Put him on the floor again, still couldn't restrain him. His friends, I think, were getting quite... You could see it in their eyes, they were thinking of helping him. And I thought, this can't go on. You know, he was that strong that we had to do something else. So I thought the best thing was my gas. And it did have an effect on him. But unfortunately, it had an effect on Glenn as well. But Glenn stayed hold of him. He's like a terrier. Once he gets hold of something, it just take a lot to shake him off.
The reason for the fierce struggle is becoming clear. A large quantity of drugs has been found. The man dropped them.
You locked up all right? On suspicion of, with intent to supply a controlled drug. You don't have to say anything, but it may harm your defence if you fail to mention now. Something which you later rely on in court. All right?
Okay, can you let me up now?
No. Whew.
On the estate, at the house where the dealer was suspected of selling cannabis from his bedroom window, the search for more drugs is producing results.
They found a reasonable quantity of cannabis in there. I think they found 2 firearms as well of some sort, which they're going to have checked out. And see whether he's allowed to have them.
There's quite a lot of cannabis found underneath the cooker in the kitchen.
He's a young lad who lives on the estate, and I think he was trying to get into the realms of Mr. Big. And, you know, at the end of the day, you're attracting attention doing that.
Back in Ellesmere Port, the street corner arrest has also attracted attention. A small crowd is gathering, just in time to see the rest of the police cavalry arrive.
So, found 2 big bags of white powder, possibly cocaine on him. We haven't searched him yet, but it's come out of his pocket.
You've still got them?
Yes. Oh, dear me.
Sorry, did I get you though?
Big time.
I did warn you.
Oh yeah, when you did it, I got it full whack in the face, really. Obviously, I've had it before, so I'm reasonably used to it, whereas I think Mr. Boyle suffered a bit more than myself.
Is this your money?
It is, yes.
Dole money?
Sorry? No, I work.
Hey?
I work.
Where do you work?
Leeds.
God, I wish I got that well paid. Obviously in the wrong job, aren't I? More money. Was this Christmas pay as well?
The man has got £700 on him. He claims he earned it honestly.
Stand up.
The police are also suspicious of his great strength and aggression.
I think by the manner of his behaviour, he'd been taking drugs prior to... I mean, Jason is probably on a good day 17 stone, I'm 14 stone, and, you know, he's getting up at his will and generally half throwing us around, really. He was a handful, yeah.
The unmarked crime car has helped put another drug dealer off the streets, but the traffic cops will get no thanks from the locals.
Sorry to swear.
Sorry.
Is it your child, is it?
No, it's not my
Right.
child.
Unfortunately, yeah, the chap there,
Yeah,
he's been
it was with him, yeah.
he's been arrested in possession of quite a large quantity of drugs. So unfortunately, we've got to do our job. We're very sorry that we've...
While a 5-year-old kid is sitting there shaking now, saying their daddy's with the police.
If he's quite happy to drug deal in front of his kid, well, that's his problem, unfortunately.
I don't think so.
Well, there you go. I'm very sorry if we've upset the child, but we've got a job to do and we'll do it, whether there's a 5-year-old child there or not. She wasn't hurt, and he's took the option to drug deal. All right, sorry about that. Well, there you go.
Like Glenn said at the time, you know, at the end of the day, if he's a drug dealer, he's a drug dealer. And they just can't use children as a shield to defend themselves. I mean, what were we expected to do? Let him go just because his 5-year-old daughter was there?
The man arrested in the raid on the estate in Knutsford is being booked in at the police station, charged with supplying drugs as well as possessing them.
I'm authorising your detention so you can be interviewed about the allegation, OK? Do you understand that? Yeah. Sign for me there.
Upstairs, the drug squad examine the spoils. Enough has been found to count the raid as a success.
There are 31 individual deals.
You're probably looking between £250 to £300, which isn't a great deal, but at the end of the day, I wouldn't like my son or daughter to be going around to this person's house to buy cannabis.
The intelligence was that people were calling at his bedroom window. We've actually removed that from the bedroom window. If the blind is shut, then don't knock. In his bedroom, there's a shoebox. In that shoebox are 2 guns, handguns. They are replicas, and if somebody pointed one of those at me, I wouldn't know the difference.
At Chester's main police station, the man who was gassed and arrested in Ellesmere Port is also being charged with drug dealing.
It turned out to be amphetamine with a street value of, I think, either £1,000 or £1,500. So he's saying that it's for his own personal use, but it's a bit of a drugs habit, that.
I'll be down in 1 minute.
Come through, mate.
The mystery of the little man's big strength has also been solved.
Apparently he's been on steroids, and that's why he was such a handful. Don't know what I'd do without Glenn.
I just hang on to him like a bull terrier. Don't do much, but just hang on to him like a bull terrier. So some of the big lads come.
Come see us gas and everything.
Oh, yes.
He also admitted to having taken some amphetamine as well. So he was high on amphetamine, he takes steroids, and he was particularly strong. It was a good result. It was well spotted by Glenn, and it was just fortunate, really, that we came out of it unscathed.
The amphetamine dealer, who had no time to get rid of his drugs and wasn't quick enough to escape the crime car cops, was sentenced to 12 months in prison. The man caught dealing cannabis through his bedroom window was found guilty and jailed for 6 months and had his replica guns confiscated. His mother, who admitted to being a pothead, accepted a police caution for possession. Old man Forbes, who made it clear what he thought of the law, was also sent to prison for 2 years for allowing his house to be used for drug dealing. And the inquest into the death of the bike rider who was killed on the motorway found that PC Huff was not responsible for his death.